quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barakiel.
So answers an apothecary. Warning! I'm in place. I am in place. The Xenos are uncounted! In position. Waypoint reached. All die. Avenge me, brothers! We have to quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barricade.
So answers an apothecary. Warning! Present us I'm in place. I am in place. Present us uncounted.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. Let's do a quick check here, make sure everything's rolling. Yep, cool. So, as you guys can see, we are basically done. The only thing I got left to do with these Rubric Marines is put their backpacks on. Well, I gotta cut them out and then put the backpacks on, and then that's it. The rest of it's just bits to be stripped off, and I will take eventually. I don't really need them right now. If I ever decided that I wanted to you know, use these warp flamethrowers or whatever, then I'm surprised that they can take so many in a squad. I may do like a lot of magnetizing and stuff like that. Oh, and I've got to put one of these on each squad, but that's okay. Anyway, we've got a few extra heads, and I know exactly what I'm going to do with those. Those are going to end up being like casualties and things like that. But anyway, this is where we're at. We've got all 70 Marines put together except for the backpacks and the one, I forget exactly. Hold on, let me see what this thing is called. I think it's like Icon of Fire or something. I forget exactly. Icon of Flame. Okay. And what it does, because I have no idea. At the start of your psychic phase, if your army is a cabal of sorcerers and the bearer is on the battlefield, you generate 1 additional cabal point. I have no idea what that means, but it's interesting. Did some reading on these guys on Wahapedia today, and then now I remember why I bought them. Not just because I wanted every Chaos faction. It was the amount of bullets that they could throw down. Now, I bought this stuff, you know, long before the current rules and things like that, so that kind of doesn't really apply, I guess, but I don't know. So yeah, we just need to cut out all these backpacks and mount them on. Thankfully it won't be 70 of them. It will be, let's see, what we got here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 14. So 56, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, 56. And then this army. Then all we have left is airmen and 6 exalted sorcerers, which I don't think it's going to be a big deal because I can't really take a bunch, and I mean, unless I, you know, take a ginormous multi-detachment army or something. But I have to fool around with that on Battle Scribe, and who knows, by the time we get around to things, they'll probably change the rules on me again. So, it is what it is. But we'll be cutting 10 of these off, I believe, off of each sprue for 7 sprues total. What are we at? 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry. We'll be doing about 8 because we've already got two guys of each squad already done. things around here. Good grief. pins off. Just gonna do a little bit of trimming here on the parts that'll be harder to get to later at the bottom here. Then I'm going to throw these on.
Iron Bugbear. Wow, that looks like a lot of progress.
It was, man, or it is. There they are. This is all I got left, is putting the backpacks on and one of these icon of flames for each squad. I don't mess around. I need to do an update to show how much has actually gotten done from the first video on YouTube, and I think it might surprise you guys. Although I did have like a 4-month hiatus because of school and family and stuff, but otherwise I probably would have been further along. I mean, if we look at this army will have taken me realistically 3 full days to put together. And that's including the Land Raider and the big demons and all that kind of stuff. But good to see you. What are you working on?
Iron Bugbear. Ogres for House.
Right on. Yep, all I've got left is basically 7 sorcerers, Airmen of Thousand Suns, and 6 exalted sorcerers, and that should be it. Yep, that's it for this army. Oh, no, crap. I forgot. I still got 2 boxes of pink horrors that are coming in at some point.
Rich Smith.
They're not here yet,
Hey
though.
bud, I see you're back to working on this set you may never play live with, haha.
Oh, I'll play with it. I don't care if it's painted or not. And the more I mess around with it and the more I see them, and the stuff I read today about how they operate and everything, I was just like, man, I kind of can't wait to play this army. Alright, let me get these done real quick, and then we are all set to put the last parts on these guys, and then all of
Iron
these
Bugbear.
Marines be done.
Nice. Did you decide on the red paint scheme?
No, not yet. Haven't really. I mean, it's kind of eating at me. I wonder if I want to do red, but more like red being the highlights, and maybe more of
Rich Smith. Can you talk through the phases of play in a game? Rich Smith. I know, easy question.
What do you mean talk through it? Like, you want me to tell you what they are, or? Of course, when 10th edition comes out, there's a rumor
Rich
it's going to be
Smith.
a lot simpler.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing in your turn, and this applies to each player, at least right now, just to keep it in, I guess, to keep it in perspective. If you dealt with anything else, there are no alternating activations in this game right now. Now, I play with alternate activations because I think it's more fun, and I don't want my opponent just standing there forever watching me do stuff, and I don't want to be standing there forever, you know, not playing, basically. So anyway, you have your command phase, which is where, if applicable, you would apply any command points, like command points that you've gained or whatever per battle round. Then you have your movement phase, your psychic phase, your shooting phase, your close combat or assault phase, or I'm sorry, it's called fight phase now, and then your morale phase. Let me see something here. I think, well, that's right, it's on my phone. Something that could help you out, that's free, this part of it anyway, is you could download the Warhammer app, and it has the core rules on it for free. Now, it doesn't apply to, you know, like all the codexes and things like that, and it's kind of like AOS battle scrolls, I think is what they're called, where you would have to pay for that, but that would definitely help you out. Alright, let's start. How much glue do we have left on this one? Oh, looks like we got plenty. Alright, let's think about what we're doing here so we can make and keep room. I'll just shove these dudes over here like this.
Rich Smith. I think I can get a PDF free online of the rules too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You get, well, dude, I mean, you can get everything. And if you go to Wahapedia, what the fuck am I doing here? I don't know if you've ever been to that website, but Wahapedia has everything. I mean, including like the rules per units, or 4 units, I mean. I think they're Russian, and basically they've given the finger to Games Workshop, like, we don't care about you and you telling us to take it down. So I'm all about it. I'm tired of spending money for books that are only good for a month or two for Games Workshop. I'm trying to remember if it was 7th or I'm sorry, 8th or 9th edition.
Waha.
Yeah, hold on a second. It's WAHAPEDIA. Wahapedia. Like Warhammerpedia. And it even has Age of Sigmar on there, and I think Kill Team. I think there's a couple other things, or maybe there's 8th edition on there. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it works differently on your phone than it does on a computer. I mean, a little bit differently, not a whole lot, but it's definitely like a freaking super awesome source. It tells you base sizes, it tells you points cost, power levels.
Rich Smith. Copy that.
All kinds of stuff. When the heck did I get all this glue on my fingers all of a sudden? What the heck's going on here? Son of a bitch.
Rich Smith. Are you keeping up with any elections results or just keeping Zen mind working on the builds?
I looked at it for a while, but I'm trying to, enjoy my life, not... I mean, I voted early this morning along with my wife, and, I already got pissed off first thing this morning with the voting process. I walk in there and there's this old man that clearly has no idea what's going on. He just was able to make it there. He had gout in his fingers, he said, so he couldn't pull his driver's license out and stuff, which is fine. And then, I mean, where I live in the voting, polls, it's not like you really have to stand in a long line or anything. I mean, like, you're in and out, literally. And, he walks over to a table to mark his ballot. Instead of going, they didn't tell him he had to go over to the the little booth or anything like that. He just walks over a table, and I see him make a check mark in the box. And I make a comment to one of the ladies, kind of low, because I didn't want him to feel embarrassed or anything. I'm like, hey, he only checked the block, he didn't fill it in. Well, this fucking idiot poll worker behind there is like, oh, it's fine, the machine will read it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, first of all, no, it's not fine, because the goddamn instructions literally say fill in the fucking box. And then two, what if it doesn't read it? Or if there has to be some type of recount or something like that, they have to be hand counted. What do you think's gonna happen when they pull that fucking thing out of there? They're gonna throw it in the fucking trash. You know what I mean? And it's just, I mean, and these are the people that they've had training, but this is the problem, man. We're so fucking lackadaisical, and I know who these people are. I mean, I know them. They're not fucking liberals or anything, but they're fucking lazy, and it just, I'm just like, no, man, that's not how this works. I mean, hell, you're supposed to be there to assist people not to pick and choose, but to make sure that they do it right. And when I first said something, one of the ladies started to walk over because she knew, and then the other lady said something, you know, said, oh, it doesn't have to, like, you know, as if not to help him or something. And I'm just like, this is, you know, this is why we're losing, man. This is why we're losing our country, because of dumb shits like you. You'll fucking take every little easy road out that you possibly can in life. No fucking intestinal fortitude of anything, no fucking integrity, no fidelity, no nothing. You're just a fucking oxygen thief. And I can guarantee you that lady, when I left, was like, oh, who the hell is that guy I think he is? Because that's how people are programmed. Not to think about what it is that they're doing wrong and make themselves better. Just to fucking get mad. And yeah, he's probably not the deciding vote. I get that. That's beside the damn point. Do your damn job. I don't know, man. Yeah, I watched it a little bit online, and now I'm just, I don't know. I'd rather, the only politics I care about now is whether or not the Inquisition's gonna fucking zap some dude, some fucking planetary governor that's trying to usurp his fucking duties and fucking, or shirk his duties rather, not usurp, and fucking take over. It's like the opening line of, I think it's Galaxy in Flames, is the first book of the Horus Heresy, where it says, I was there the day the Emperor died. I love that freaking line. Or, I'm sorry, the day that Horus killed the Emperor. That's what it was. And it's not, you know, it's not what everybody thinks. So I will shut up in case you haven't read it. Whoa, easy. I'll tell you, when you're doing projects this big, sometimes you think to yourself, I'm never going to get it done. Even me, believe it or not. But if you just stick with it and you start seeing things coming along, it really pays off, man. You get this, I don't know, it's like an endorphin rush of, you know,
Rich Smith.
for what you've done.
Politics has taken over too much of the daily conversation. In one sense, I could care less. In another, I think thinking people should get out and vote.
I agree. I mean, think about it. Why do we have to tell people to even do that? You know what I mean? That's how lazy people have gotten. And just like I said last night, you know, I mean, yeah, the midterms are a big deal. Senate and the House, all that. But those are the, you know, those in the presidential election are the ones people will vote for. But they won't vote for their local elections. But they'll sit at the dinner table and bitch about it. And they're going, I know that dude. I've known him since high school. He was fucking corrupt then. He's corrupt now. Right, but you don't try to do anything to mobilize anybody. You want to bitch about the good old boy network, but you don't try to do anything to fix it or stop it. And for me, see here, I don't even think I brought this up. So I ran for the board of supervisors in our county last year, and I lost.
Smith. I think a larger project is cool. A good hobby to get your mind off of life.
Yeah. I lost by 270 votes out of 21 or 2,200 people that voted in my district. Now, there were a little over 6,000 that were registered in my district, but barely 2,100 voted. Of those 2,100, I can guarantee you the majority of them were Democrats. But here's the kicker. I didn't even go into the Democrat sectors because I knew I just figured they would just slam the door in my face because I was very outspoken in the school board meetings and everything. And, you know, my name was in the papers and all this kind of stuff. I mean, the papers
Rich
here.
Smith. What was the position you ran for?
Board of Supervisors for the county. And, anyway, the newspapers here are completely left-leaning, so they were trying to smear me left and right, you know, which is fine. I don't give a shit. It just showed their desperation. But when we watched the elections that night, well, let me back up. First of all, our Republican committee here, local Republican committee, they're a bunch of idiots. Okay, they really are. For them, this thing is a game. Okay, all of this, the politics, everything is a fucking game. And it's just an excuse to be able to hobnob with people in power, you know, and make themselves feel important, you know, since they have nothing else to do, since most of them are retirees and shit, right? Or older folks. Most of them have no integrity either. What I've learned about the whole political process through a year of running and 4 years of, you know, building up to it, was that this is no different than fucking high school. And if you're not in the popular group, nobody wants to fucking talk to you. And then when you get the endorsement like I did for the Republican Party, all of a sudden they tried to back out because they were getting some hate from their fucking liberal colleagues and shit that they work with or whatever, and they were looking for a way to run away. That's not a united party or a united front. I have no respect for people like that. Anyway, so we were watching the election results. I'm winning, like hands down winning everything, including Democrat areas that I didn't even go into. I mean, I never stepped
Rich
foot in them,
Smith.
and I didn't send anybody in there.
It's a game.
So the deadline, or the, you know, for receiving votes and all that comes. The deadline for, or comes and goes. The deadline for counting votes comes and goes. Except things weren't updating. Everybody's calling me, texting me, you know, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. So before I give you the climax of this story, let me back all the way up to when I had to produce my paperwork and my signatures to be able to be qualified to run. I had more signatures than anyone that turned anything in. That's the first thing to note. The second thing was, there was a young lady that she was a Marine as well, and was running for school board, and she and I campaigned together, kind of, where I took, you know, a bunch of her ballots with me and campaigned for her, and vice versa. Except I had already been doing it for some time, so I had a lot more than she did before I actually got to know her. And we went in the same morning. This is how corrupt this place is. This is Rockbridge County, Virginia, by the way. I don't care if it gets out there and fucking no tourism comes here whatsoever. I don't care. Anyway, turned in all the paperwork the same morning together, 10 o'clock in the morning. I let her go first because she's a woman. Just, you know, the way I was brought up. Took 5 minutes for her to turn her stuff in, and they said that they would call her, you know, to let her know if she was qualified. Took me 5 minutes to turn my stuff in. Told me the same thing. 24 hours later, the other candidates all turned their stuff in, which was you know, right before the deadline of having all your stuff in. So we did it the day beforehand. And I did it because I suspected there would be some shenanigans if I let it happen earlier, right? Well, lo and behold, remember, I'm the second person to turn my stuff in, 5 minutes behind, you know, that lady, right? I'm the last person to get confirmed almost a week and a half later. And we were hoping and praying they were going to say that my signatures weren't valid, because those same signatures, the majority of them, I mean, like, the extras I had put me way over the mark. But the other ones, she had already been confirmed, and they were on her, mine were on her sheets as well. So they were definitely trying to do everything they could to make sure I wasn't even qualified to run. So now I'm winning, right? Or I've won, basically. And the Republican Party's mad because I wouldn't go to, this is when Glenn Youngkin was running for governor. They got mad at me because I said I wasn't coming to the party or whatever, the victory party or whatever, you know, that he was going to win, because they just knew he was going to win. And he did, but he barely won. I said, no, I'm going home to spend time with my family. I've had enough of this. You know, and I'm not a party guy anyway. So, you know, again, it's all about pomp and circumstance for these idiots. Well, 4 hours later, okay, the votes or the results still are not really in. Like, it's not finalized. Nobody understands what's going on with the website. It doesn't make sense in some cases. But then, all of a sudden, a whole new category of votes shows up. Early voting. Now all of a sudden I have lost. 4 hours after the deadline, I lose. And I lose by just enough over the percentage margin that I can't challenge it. No one is going to convince anyone else, including myself, that I wasn't cheated out of that. It was so contested and watched. I mean, I can't even escape it, and it's been almost, well, now it's been a year. November 1st would have been a year. It's been a year, and I still have people going, it made no sense, you were winning, are you going to run again, blah, blah, blah. You know, and a lot of people want me to run again. But all I keep telling people is if they want me to run again, then they need to tell me. And two, they need to get people out to vote, because 2,100 people out of 6,000 is not a good turnout. And one of the excuses I was given by somebody that I know was, well, that was first day of hunting season. Like, those deer won't be there the next day? Are you kidding me? It just, or the 5 minutes it takes for you to go in and out of the damn, you know, voting booth. I mean, come on. And then they wonder why this country's going to shit, because they can't, you know, they can't sacrifice something as small as that. You know, oh, well, I hunt to feed my family. Right. And I'm sure you got a deer on your first day. It just blows my mind. So, and that was my first and only time ever running for any office. I didn't run because I want to be a board of supervisors or have a political career. It's not. I ran because this county is corrupt and I want to fix it and stop the nonsense that's going on here. And that's it.
Iron Bugbear. Amen, brother. You speak the truth.
So, I have no desire whatsoever to be a politician, like a, you know, full on, like that's a career. I don't want to do that. I want to do Warhammer. I want to be at home with my kids. I want to, you know, in some ways try to forget, you know, past life stuff. Meet good people. Last thing, you know, and that's like, I had this moron, what a fucking retard, told me what I've recently heard on the news as of late, that politics is a contact sport, a full contact sport. And I told that dude straight to his face, I'm like, let's think about this. If I punch you in the fucking mouth right now, you gonna tell me that's the same as politics? If we were in a hockey ring, or racing motocross, or playing football, or rugby, you're gonna tell me that's the same thing? Shut the fuck up. These people, that's all they do, is they build themselves. I akin politicians and people that run like in those circles to no different than the shitbags that are all about the Academy Awards and the music awards and all this other, you know, bullshit where they award themselves for nonsense. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And you guys really are making me out to be the Angry Badger. I was sitting here thinking my moniker was not really the right thing, because I've been so passive for so long on here. Way to go. It's all your fault. All of your faults. It's that or it's the Chaos Gods. One of the two. I don't know. I know
Rich
one.
Smith. That's hilarious.
I know one thing. Once I get all of my Games Workshop models put together, I am definitely gonna be
Rich
improving
Smith.
my mold making
Chaos
skills.
Gods.
Yep, Chaos Gods, man. It's probably fucking Zinch, man. Just because. Oh, shoot. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Dude's like,
Iron Bugbear. It's all good, sometimes you got to vent.
yeah, I know, I don't know. I had a channel one time on YouTube, what, I guess 2 years ago now, maybe 3 years ago, that was all about, you know, politics and what was going on, and I had a lot of followers. I think for the short time that I was on there, I think I had somewhere in the ballpark of like 1,300 or something. But I started really touching on some things, and man, YouTube came down and just wiped my channel. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'm not putting that kind of effort into that anymore.
Rich Smith. It's just the way things go.
Yep.
Poly meaning many and ticks meaning blood-sucking creatures. Politics.
I've never heard that, but now I'm never gonna forget it. I love it. That is awesome. I know one thing I'm gonna have to do with these Rubric Marines when I get these guys painted is I am going to have to severely, like, somehow without ruining the paint job, severely varnish the tops of them, their helmets, or I'm gonna have
Rich
to be
Smith.
disciplined enough to
At
pick
least
them
you
up
put
the
your
right
hat
way.
in the ring.
Yeah, we'll see, and I, and I appreciate that, but that's something that pissed me off too, was hearing that from the Republican committee. They're like, we'd like to thank all the people, that were brave enough to do this, and I'm like, well, what the fuck are you guys doing? And that was something I brought up to them that they didn't like. I'm like, oh, this will piss you off. Okay, so the chairman or whatever wanted to have a sit down with me. So I went and met him, and he was like, hey,
Rich Smith. It seems like you could 3D print some of these builds to save cost. Any advice on saving money?
well, so I don't have a 3D printer, and there are definitely
Rich Smith.
some really good things out there.
Republicans can be garbage.
Oh,
Look at how many of them hated Trump, the president at the time.
yep. Well, look at Mitch McConnell with the ones running. He's like, these aren't the kind of conservatives that we need. No, you mean they're not the kind that are going to listen to you because you think that you should be able to tell any Republican, what to do instead of their constituents, telling them what to do. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, he said they're not the caliber of conservative we need. It's like, whatever, dude. You should have been gone a long time ago. Hell, you're fucking married to a Chinese spy. But anyway, what was I gonna say, or what was I saying? Oh, so I go and meet with this fool, and that's exactly what he is. And he was like an army captain or something during peacetime or some shit. So I was trying to give him respect on that. This is before I realized this was the meeting where I realized this guy was a fucking retard, and that he was not somebody to be trusted. So me and that that woman, former Marine, like myself, had teamed up and stuff like that, and become friends and stuff. And she became friends with my wife and stuff. That was good. He says to me, you need to do everything you can to separate yourself from Morgan, the woman. And I was like, why would I do that? And he goes, well, You need to focus on your campaign, and you know it could hurt you. And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, look, dude, hold on a second, I gotta look at the right one here. Okay, so, well, I guess it doesn't matter which one it goes on, but alright, I figured it had to go on a specific one. Oh, it does. There's only 2 types it can go on, the bird one or the round one. Okay. Anyway, yeah, there's the little square thing. He says you need to separate from her because it could hurt your campaign. You know, there's a lot of people don't like her, this and that. And I said, do you even know who you're talking to? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, dude, I'm a Marine. And you want me to cast another Marine aside because of someone else's opinion? No way. I'm like, that's not how this works. And I said, and furthermore, you know, I have a huge question for you. And he goes, what's that? And I said, what do you people even do here? Because everyone I've talked to got my, you know, when I was getting my petition signed and everything else, nobody even knows you people exist in this county. They don't even know there's a Republican committee. What do you guys do? Well, we do a lot. We do a lot of public outreach. We call people on the phone, this and that. I'm like, I'm telling you, I got 3,000 signatures. Nobody knew who you people were. Your membership is like super low, you know. I mean, and it just, you know, of course it floored the guy, but I mean, that's his problem, right? And I, you know, when I left the office, I called Morgan and I told her exactly what happened, what was said. She goes in there, she goes, oh, well, I'm supposed to meet with him tomorrow. He told her the exact same thing, separate from me. And it's just like, wow, man, these people, they just do not get it, man. They just do not get it. And that's why we're in the shape we're in. You know, everybody's stabbing each other in the damn back, in my opinion. Okay, it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. There's actually... Oh, there's one. Yeah. So, anyway. I don't even know where I was going with all that crap. Some good news though is my new
Rich Smith. They see people as a means to an end.
Yeah, I get that. Basically just to use people, that's it. But on a good news front, Warzone Studios, which I am not I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I think they're a Russian company too. I'm not positive, but they have shipped my new gaming mats or gaming cloth, which is pretty awesome.
Rich Smith.
Okay, that's not going on.
Is there any way to avoid paying hundreds of dollars for Warhammer sets?
Yeah, eBay, man. eBay, and I mean I'm not being facetious. I really mean that. There's and I mean like getting used sets and then stripping them. Like I said, stripping them is not hard to do at all. It takes almost no effort with the LA's Totally Awesome stuff I was talking about last night. I just can't remember, and I apologize, I can't remember if I was talking to you about that or someone else, but yeah, it takes almost no time, you know, if you just let stuff soak or whatever, and then just go back over and reprime it, and I mean, it's like you got new models.
Rich Smith. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that would be the cheapest route right now, because Games Workshop is definitely cranking up the prices. You could try 3D printing. Here's the thing. So if you were going to play competitively, you don't have a chance with 3D printing. It's not allowed unless you're doing like, what's the rule? The rule is that you have a 3D printed like object, like a sword or a gun or a hat or something like that, you know, something that really has no real significance, and you specifically designed it. Like, it can't be out there, you know, readily available for purchase or whatever. But I think that's like only 15 or 20% of the model can be 3D printed, something like that. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And then why does it seem like it's sitting so high up? I don't understand. 3D printing itself, there's tons of stuff out there now, but if you're just playing like homebrew games of people you know, or you know, people that wouldn't care, I mean, dude, you could get so much 3D printed stuff for so cheap. I mean, just ungodly amounts now, and it's good stuff. 3D Cults, Thingiverse. Trying to think of some other places.
Jokero Jim, have you been trying to collect the new Space Marine Heroes models?
No.
Rich Smith, if there is such a price difference, then why do people buy sets brand new?
Because the box has all the sex appeal, honestly. That's what, and they don't want to put any work into anything other than this. You know, I mean, sometimes when I'll strip old models or something that I got, the things fell apart because the glue fell apart, right? Like those 2 Land Raiders I bought, they both literally fell apart. So what? I just put them back together. But some people don't want to do that. You know, or they look at the paint jobs and they think to themselves, oh my God, look at this thing, you know, whatever,
Rich
it's so
Smith.
bad, and it's really not.
Marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's most things.
Yep. It's really that box. I mean, so there's a guy that I listen to quite a bit. His channel name is Northern Exile. Sorry, Exile. He used to work for Games Workshop as a manager. Super knowledgeable dude about the inner workings of everything, the lore, stuff like that. I've never contributed to his channel as far as like stories or anything. It's called Hobby Nightmares or something like that. And but I mean, I listen to it, you know, almost daily, just because, you know. But wait, what am I doing? I don't want to put it on that guy.
Rich Smith, it's like people that spend $35,000 more on a house because they don't want to paint an older house.
Correct. That's pretty much exactly it right there in a nutshell. Yeah, matter of fact, that is it in a nutshell. But I mean, you know, if you're willing to do that, I mean, you can get some really cheap armies, you know, and I mean big ones. And I would tell you, you have to, especially, I mean, do you know what kind of army you're looking at for 40K? Like what race? Because that's gonna dictate a lot as well. Who knew I was going to be scouring through these guys just to be able to put these things on?
Rich Smith, no. Not sure. Friends are looking at factions within Sigmar possible also.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean like you've got friends?
Rich Smith, we haven't decided.
But I mean, you're saying basically you've got friends that want to play as well, but none of you guys have an army and haven't figured it out, is what you're saying, right?
Rich Smith, yes, exactly.
Okay, so I don't know if you care to do this or not, but if you got something to write with, break it out and I'll give you some things here. Let me know when you're ready, or if you just don't want to, maybe do it some other time or whatever.
Rich Smith. I'm on a computer, so yes, I can write, haha.
Okay, well, first thing is, since you're on a computer, I would look up Warhammer community. Okay. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Frequently asked questions, free downloads, things like that. But and you know, of course, they also talk about, you know, new releases, and you know, there's articles and stuff like that. But you want that website first. Okay, it's not your go-to for everything, but it's like a shorter
Rich
version
Smith.
of everything.
Done.
Okay, next thing is you want Wahapedia. Okay, maybe you can make yourself a little bookmark folder or something and put all these in there. So Wahapedia. Then you want, gosh, why can't I think? Hold on, I gotta type it in. I can't remember the damn word. I think it's lexicanum or lexiconum or something. Hold on. Alright, asshole. Yeah, lexicanum. Lexicanum. Fan-made encyclopedia based on Warhammer 40,000. Well, I mean, they have it for all of them: Age of Sigmar, Fantasy, all that. You're gonna, you know, if you're looking at Warhammer 40,000, you'll want that one. And then there's another one. God, what is it called? Oh man, why can't I think of this stuff? Hold on. You're gonna want Reddit 40K, Warhammer 40K. You're gonna want that one. You're gonna want hold on, there's another thing that's similar to lexicanum. I'm just trying to remember what the hell it's called. Alright, I can't remember it, but anyway, the one I'm trying to think of plus the lexicanum one is going to give you like pretty much a really in-depth lore breakdown of just about every race. Well, it should be every race that's in Warhammer, AOS, all that stuff, to include, like, you know, major battles and important points in history and stuff like that, you know, of the franchise or whatever. I mean like, you know, of the setting is what I mean to say. Those will definitely help you out. And then what you want to look for too, whenever you buy on Warhammer, okay, I mean Warhammer on eBay, whether you buy something new or used, okay, first thing I'm going to tell you this: something that's really hot right now on eBay to buy that's going to cost a lot is going to be metal miniatures, out of print miniatures, or OOP. Okay, on average you're looking at least $25 for a single miniature. Now that's really for like the serious collectors and stuff these days, because your average kid. Kimber, what the heck are you doing? Well, don't scratch yourself that hard, weirdo. Anyway, you know, the kids these days, they don't want the older stuff anyway. So that's, but I mean, it's, you know, it is out of print, and metal models are a little bit, in some ways, are a little bit harder to deal with for some people. Let's see. Anyway, where I was going with that is, make sure you have the Games Workshop website as well, because when you shop on eBay or Amazon.com, what you need to do a price comparison, okay? especially if you want to buy something new. If you can't find, you know, used stuff that you want, because typically it'll be about 15% off on eBay with the right people, and you'll know that by the price difference from what it is at Games Workshop. I do not buy from Games Workshop unless I absolutely cannot find it on eBay or Amazon. And sometimes Amazon is more expensive than eBay, and sometimes eBay is more expensive than Amazon. It just depends on what's going on. Games Workshop does nothing to stop people from, like when a new release comes out, they do nothing to stop scalpers from sucking up everything and then farming it out on eBay. They don't care. They're making their money, and the reason I'm bringing that up is if you go back to why people buy the new stuff and marketing and all that in Northern Exile, because I got way off track here, he broke it down perfectly. He said on average, I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of just under 2 cents per model to make these things. As far as the plastic goes, that what costs the most is the box art and making the boxes. It's not the models. So maybe that will help explain some of that. Alright, one more and then this portion of the army is complete. Where are you? You gotta be in here somewhere.
Rich Smith.
Boom, gotcha.
That's shady.
Well, it's the way it goes, man.
Iron Bugbear. Rich, have you watched any battle reports on YouTube to get an idea of gameplay?
If not, there's a, you know, they have
Rich
a
Smith. Yes. The models are just plastic.
If you haven't watched that, there's actually a playlist on YouTube that Games Workshop has that explains how 9th edition is played, with the phases, and it's actually, I think production wise they did a pretty good job. It's a woman that's walking you through it, you know, her voice and stuff.
Rich Smith.
But it's pretty engaging.
At Iron Bugbear, yes. I have.
Well, if you get away from other people's battle reports and you just go off the Games Workshop thing just to get an idea of how to play, it's pretty good, in my opinion. And it covers each phase relatively in depth. I mean, enough to play the game, not like to get all, masterful with it. Alright guys, so let's see here. All 70 Rubric Marines are complete. That's it. They're done. Unless I decide to go back some other day and pop off. I didn't like super crazy glue. No pun intended. I didn't like really glue the guns down so I could pop them off if I want to down the road. But I don't know that I'm going to. Just by looking at stats, the ability to field 10 flamethrowers is kind of cool. I like that concept. So it's kind of got me thinking. But you got to be within 12 inches. I don't know. I might do it. I don't know. I mean, I got 70 freaking Marines. All my armies are pretty much infantry heavy for the most part, and we got demons and everything else. Who knows? Yep, we are now done with the Rubric Marines, and guess we got them done in about 3 days is what I'm thinking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in this box over here to get ready for transport later on into the cabinet. shit. Apparently that one wasn't dry. Fuck. Are you kidding me right now? You son of a bitch.
Jokero Jim. What consists of your iron hands? Rich Smith. Good work. Rich Smith. I have to head out. Have a good evening, Gusey.
You too, man. Iron hands? I don't have any iron hands.
Jokero Jim. See ya around, Rich thumbs up sign.
I don't have any iron hands, Space Marines. Thought about making some. I'd probably use some spare Necron parts or whatever to give them, like, you know, legs and arms and stuff. I'm sure I have plenty sitting around somewhere. Or did you mean Iron Warriors? Probably just
Jokero Jim. Iron Hands specialize in armored warfare, which is pretty cool. Jokero Jim. Iron Hands.
Yeah, I don't have any iron hands. I just have that one book. I think I showed it to you. Clan Raukin or something like that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit all these guys in this box. Not standing upright. Ugh, liver.
Jokero Jim. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't have an Iron Hands army yet. But with the amount of Space Marines that I have, I mean, it's not completely implausible for me to make one, a small contingent or something. And since I have the ability to, you know, cast my own Land Raiders and Rhinos, that's, you know, I could do that too. I haven't tried to do a Predator, but I mean, it wouldn't be hard. I mean, you already have the chassis with the Rhino, and then you just throw the Predator bits on top of it. Of course, I'd never be able to take that into a Games Workshop store, or, you know, if the opponent that I had didn't like that, I wouldn't be able to play with them with it, because they'd feel slighted, like, oh man, I had to buy my models and you just copied them or whatever. When in fact they don't realize that I bought all the models, or all the models that I do own. Alright, we'll just lay this guy down carefully. Well, that didn't work out. Shit. He's probably glued anyway. They've been sitting around for hours. This is probably my favorite, is these guys with the Soul Reaper cannons. But yeah, man, this was like the bulk of the entirety of this work. Oh crap, no. I didn't want you over there. I didn't want anybody near those guys with the icon of flame, or whatever the hell it's called. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Alright. Excellent. Let's see. This is what we got left. Airmen and these guys. But What I'm not doing is I'm not putting any beaky helmets on, and no freaking Talon feet. Those are stupid. So.
Jokero Jim, have you seen the newly revealed Christmas box sets?
Yeah, they're alright. I mean, I will tell you that even if I didn't have that stuff already, I probably would not buy them though. I don't think that they're the greatest value, and like anything, they're just there to force you to buy the other stuff to make the armies relatively complete. Alright, so that helmet's good. That helmet is good, and this helmet is good. This helmet is not, and I will use this for something else. I'm hoping to God I don't have to use these feet. I really don't want to. It looks so bad, but it's not looking good. Looks like you have to. Son of a bitch. That really sucks, man. Okay, so he's got feet, like regular feet. He's got regular feet. Damn, dude, really? It's not even in.
Jokero Jim,
it's not even in a way where I can just cut them off.
I think the custodes in both Space Marine boxes were good.
Yeah, the custodes had a pretty good set. Oh, excuse me. Because of the jet bikes, but it wasn't a whole lot more different than the combat patrol.
Iron Bugbear. Yes, I defiantly have a love-hate relationship with GW.
Yeah. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Alright, actually, I kind of like that helmet, so we'll get this helmet off of here. What other helmets are there? Anything stupid? Okay. So let's stick this over here. I'm gonna put airmen together last, just because. Alright, so we need 3 and 4.
My biggest problem with GW is the IP protection affecting the fans' creativity on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like when the Astartes came out, I knew right away what was going to happen to that. So I freaking recorded that shit. And that's probably the best anime for 40K I have ever seen in my life.
Iron Bugbear. You have inspired me, good sir. I am going to start on my 1,000 Suns this weekend.
What? No, don't do it. Oh my god. Don't do it. You're gonna hate me. You're gonna be like, man, this motherfucker, what was I thinking? That dude's just insane. Don't do it. No, right on, dude. What's your breakdown of your army? Tell me like everything that's in it.
Jokero Jim. It's either that or Death of Hope as the best Warhammer animation.
Yeah, I forgot about Death of Hope. Death of Hope is fucking badass, but it's two different, you know, two different types. You know what I mean? But yeah, Death of Hope is definitely legit. The only thing I didn't like about Death of Hope is it was a little too hard to understand you know, what was being said sometimes, especially, you know, any of the Space Marines that had, you know, their helmets on. And the only time you had that in Astartes was when the alien artifact, or whatever you want to call it, was speaking to the other one. Oh shit, what am I doing? I'm screwing this all up.
Iron Bugbear. I just have the old start collecting box, 1 box of Terminators, and some demons.
I don't remember what's in that box set anymore. I'll tell you what I want to do is I want to do a live game, right? Like broadcast a live game that I'm playing, and I'm playing against you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, my idea is basically I do what I'm doing. When I'm done, you guys basically roll a dice to see who gets to make the choice, you know, of what's going to happen, who gets to control the turn, you know, for that the other faction, and play like that. I think it would be cool with the, you know, with the real models. Otherwise we could just play on Tabletop Simulator and that kind of thing if people were up for it. Because I'm not really in it to win, I'm in it for the fun of it. I had my glory back in the day, and I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. Number 18. What the heck is number 18? There it is.
Iron Bugbear. Ahriman, Rubric Marines, and Zongors.
Okay. Well, I mean, you won't have to put 70 of them together, but that's cool. I wouldn't wish that pain on anyone. Alright, what do I want to use here?
Iron Bugbear. That sounds like a plan.
I've never seen it done, so it's an idea I've had for some time, and I just thought it'd be a really cool idea to, you know, keep everybody, you know, engaged. You're not just having to watch it, you're gonna have to kind of, you know, pay attention and do something, you know, especially if you're like me and you don't have anybody to play with. And I want to do like a campaign kind of thing, like, you know, decide, you know, who does what, and you actually have, you know, some skin in the game or stake in the game.
Iron Bugbear. Let us know when you're ready.
Oh, it'll be a while, but definitely I will. I'm trying to do this, school, and build my new game table. Once the new game table's built, that's when I want to start trying to do something like that. The only issue is the only painted armies that I have now left are, because I stripped the Tyranids,
Iron
is salamanders and necrons.
Campaign sounds really good.
Yeah. Now, I mean, obviously, I don't have every, unit that Games Workshop has ever made. So it wouldn't be like, you could build the list or anything. You just have to trust me to build the list competitively against the other one. And I'm pretty good at that. But
French Tustique. Hello.
what's going on, French? How you been?
French Tustique. Good yourself?
Good now. Just finished up those 70 Rubric Marines. If you go back a ways, you'll see them all. Ugh, and I'm putting together my sorcerers. And I don't know how far I'll get on this, but hopefully we can get them all done.
Iron Bugbear. Gaming table. Very nice.
I'm trying. Let's see, 27 or 23. What's the damn difference? One looks just like it's a hand. The other one, oh, the other one has a gun in it. I don't really care about guns. In my mind, the sorcerer has his hand out trying to do things. Cast powers and stuff. He doesn't need no stinking gun. Oh, Johnny, I forgot you were there. You may go now. Leave that shotgun. Thank you. Yeah, I know when I bought all the models that I bought that I didn't just buy them. I bought them because of,
Iron Bugbear.
like I put a list together.
Yep. Psyker.
I put, a list together. And that's how I bought things. But now it's like the codices or codices have changed and just, nothing seems to fit anymore. Unless I guess you just do open play where you can play with whatever you have on the shelf, which is, in my mind, the best way to play. So, not too terribly concerned about it. Let's see here, we got all these, but apparently there was another helmet. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm definitely not using this stupid face right here. This thing's dumb. Excuse me. Okay, so let's see. I like this one, so we'll put this guy on there.
French Tustique. That's Warhammer for you, always subject to a rules change.
I know, man. Well, and that's like, listening to a video today. How many times have you guys heard, somebody get into an argument over lore when Games Workshop has themselves said that nothing is canon? You know what I mean? Okay. So they got that taken care of. Now he just needs backpack, shoulder pads, and a cape. And then I think he's done. Yep, that's it. Alright, so his cape is number 43, which is right here, and I knew that.
Gerard Monster. Watch I'm making.
I just finished up my 70 Rubric Marines, and so now I'm putting together my 6 Exalted Sorcerers, and I mean, I hope I will get them all completed tonight, and if I do, depending on how I feel, I may move on to Airmen. And then other than 2 boxes of Pink Horrors that I'm waiting on to come in, this army will be complete, assembly wise. I think somebody's working on ogres for Age of Sigmar. Okay, let's go with 41 on the backpack. And then it needs number 68.
French Tustique. Yeah, the lore is interesting but not useful for playing. I could care less if a character is born on a blue moon the last Friday of the century.
I hear you. I don't really get into the characters so much. I mean, I have some, but everything's just like, you know, generic captain or whatever, you know. I'm not into, I don't care about any of that, because I mean, think about it. If you're trying to be immersed in the lore, and then Ezekiel, or no, let's just say what's his name, Lionel Johnson of the Dark Angels gets killed on the table, well, now what? You know what I mean? I mean, I guess technically, if we go all the way back to when I first got in, it was never your model was killed, it was a casualty, and that's how Games Workshop has always said it. So you could argue that he was recovered, you know, or whatever, and just wounded. But again, you're playing with fire, because now you got a guy who pretty much has never been, you know, defeated or had a problem.
Iron Bugbear. It was just an avatar.
Yeah, hologram. so this goes on here. That's a pretty fragile point there to attach this. This is a pretty damn cool model though, I gotta tell you that. Oh! Gotta make sure his cloak isn't lower than his feet. And it is slightly. There we go. But now his backpack is leaning too far over. Shit, I just pulled the damn cloak off. I knew that was gonna happen too. Son of a bitch. Actually, it was probably a good thing that it did, because I forgot I gotta put the damn shoulder blades on. Haven't done that. Shoulder pads, shoulder blades. What the hell am I saying? Alright, let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, we got some other ones over here. Roll with that instead. Put this plain one in here because you're not going to be able to see it anyway. It'll be covered by most of the cloak. And then we'll put this little more detailed one over here. And he's kind of bird themed, so we'll stick with that.
French Tustique. They gonna be a pain to paint.
Well, that's the fun in it for me, where it's not for other people. The challenge of painting them like this. So of course now I'm back to the same problem I had with the damn backpack. only it's been sitting there gluing all this time. Ah, son of a bitch. I think I can get it off. Yeah. Okay. Just gotta tilt it a little bit. You son of a bitch. Got my fan on in here because I'm warm for some reason, and it's just everything's drying so fast. All right, bastard. Go. You motherfucker. What is your damn problem here? I have to put a layer over top. Let me put this guy over here. Let him dry without any issue. That should be it for him. Alright, we got this guy. He'll be cool to put together. Excuse me.
French Tustique. Bless ye.
Thanks. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them all done tonight. I think this guy right here might be my last one for the night. thinking I want the scarabs up. Versus that. What do you guys think? This or this?
Iron bugbear. Scarabs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Alright, now we gotta find all the stinking little, what you call it, and put them in order. That was the only part I was kind of dreading about this disc. 66. $65. Oh. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because according to this, there's 2 of each. Yep, there's 2 64s. Come to think of it, I probably should have used this right here for the top of his staff, that other guy's staff, but oh well. Oh well. Because that's the guy that's going on here. What do we got here? Apparently we're having a crisis here with getting the clippers in because of how close they did everything. I don't see any more. Oh, there's one. I'm gonna see. I don't think it's possible. Nope. I was hoping I could take that off, but apparently not. Oh, this came off again. Imagine that. Son of a bitch. Alright, this thing is gonna be the bane of my existence, I can tell already. All this time it didn't glue. Absolute garbage. do it. You fucking prick. Alright, yeah, this is pissing me off now. Holding. Okay. All right. Trim these up.
Iron bugbear. Give it a scuff and then reglue if it falls off again.
Well, I thought about that. The problem is it's such a very tiny little thing that it's attaching to. It's not like it's just, you know, being glued onto the backpack. It's a tiny little key, if you will.
Iron bugbear. Green stuff maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I do have it right here. It's just too late to be messing with all that. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and they go on those. Lovely. Oh yeah, all these little finicky parts are great. Love it.
Iron Bugbear. Work tomorrow, gotta go. See you on your next live stream. Have a good one.
You too, brother. Take it easy. That was just some quick goat thinking there. I was like, as I was doing, I was like, man, how am I going to set this down so I'm not putting pressure on those points? Oh god, I'm about to knock it off. Quit messing with it. Let's see, what else do we have to do? So he gets... Oh, there's something that goes underneath it apparently. 62. That I guess I was supposed to put that on beforehand. Oh, it's the swirling vortex of NAFR. NAFR stands for no apparent fucking reason. Book. What else? I guess that's it. Just those two things and the guy. Of course, we gotta figure out how this goes on. Clean it up some. So this is like the part that connects to the base. I think we're good. Oh, what are you doing? Chill out. Okay, so that's how that hooks in there. The flat part that hooks onto the base, and we will obviously want that in the front. And I don't have, I think I took the bases out of this box. Can't remember what size base this was. I think it's 40 millimeter. Let me see in here. It looks like a 40 millimeter on the box. I think it is. Yeah. Yep, 40 millimeter. We'll use that one. For now. I want to try to get this center as possible on the base. One way to do that is by looking down over top of it. Oh, looks like we got it. I'm sure it's not completely perfect, but it's pretty damn close. Okay, so this book just hooks on somewhere, or is there a place for it? I don't see any places, it just looks like it's just there. Yeah, that's all it is. So I guess it just kind of hooks on like that or something. It's weird though. It used to be like hanging out like a little bit away from. I think what I need to do is put the model, the guy on first, and then I'll put this book on last. Alright, let's see. Hopefully you're good to go. I'll just try not to touch your cloak for now. Where's the... Okay, so that should be, according to that, that should be the center. This book, to be honest with you. I feel like the book ends up hiding the model. Guess we could always cut it off later. Alright, let's see here. I don't know. I don't like that book. I think that book looks stupid. Yeah, I'm taking it off. We're not putting that on. Besides, my sorcerers are smart enough. They don't need this stupid book. Yeah, that book just, it ruins the whole front of the model for me. Let's get some light down on this guy so everybody can see him. Alright. Well, there you have it, guys. I am going to call it a night. So I appreciate everybody's time. If you're new, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, check us out on Discord, things like that. And we will catch you next time. Take care.